Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia, and welcome back to our subscriber game tournament as we are concluding our final match of the semifinals today, with this match between King of Yen in the green versus SovietBear in the red. And as always, we'll be taking a look at both players' drafts before jumping into the match itself. Now the first thing we should note here, looking at both armies, is that they're playing on the medium unit size, and this could be because with the large army settings of 6 generals on both sides, one of their computer could be struggling with the lag, so they turned down the graphics setting essentially for a slightly smaller unit size, and that's fine. The only thing that's really going to change is just the casualty numbers at the end. It's going to look a little bit smaller, but in terms of number of units, we still have quite a lot of them. And looking at King of Yen in the green, we have the generals Wen Chou, Xu Huang, Wu Tugu, Zhang Liang, Pei Yuanshao, and Guo Jia. And there are no range unit in this army, except for the crossbows on the Ye Vanguard Spearmen led by Wen Chou. Aside from that, we have a ton of polearm units, 6 of the Qingzhou Halberd units, 4 Wolfpack, 2 Protector of Heaven, and those are even recruited on Guo Jia, which is rather interesting. And complementing that, we have cavalry, lots and lots of shot cavalry. 6 units of the Tyrant Slayers, which is pretty much the only reason why you want Zhang Liang. They're his faction unique unit. They provide a lot of general killing power, which is how I assume they'll be used, and 2 very cheap Northern Lancer cavalry to supplement that on Xu Huang. Finally, 2 Nanzhong elephants on Wu Tugu to provide the boost with their song, and that's pretty much all the money, as all the units are rank 1, so there's not much left over with this composition. Then shifting over to SovietBear side, we have perhaps the most thematic army of this round. Now, in our previous semifinal match, we did have a Wei army, where all the generals are from Cao Cao's faction. But this one is super thematic because with 6 generals for a large army, and 6 generals for the entire Nanman faction for multiplayer, all 6 are present here. Meng Huo, Mu Lu, Zhu Rong, Wu Tugu, Sha Mo Ke, and Duo Si. And they all recruited the same units. We have 2 war elephants, plus 1 Nanzhong elephant on everyone. So it's an army entirely made up of elephants, 24 on each general, for a total of what I assume would be 144? Yes, 144 elephants here, and there are going to be at least 2 copies of each of the boosting song. They don't stack, but there's a backup copy. It's going to be very interesting to see how this army perform, especially against the army on the right, which does have a lot of charge reflect with all those polearm unit. If they're patient, they can definitely rebound a lot of the damage on the charge back at these elephant unit as well, especially that group on Xu Huang, as the Sentinel will also give those unit not only charge reflect, which is innate on the polearm unit, but also charge negation, which means they can negate the 400 plus charge from the war elephant and reflect all that damage back on them instead. So it's going to be interesting to see which units are on the front line for King of Yen. And those crossbows are going to do a lot of damage to these elephants as well. It's hard to miss these target. But once the elephants gets in there, if microed properly, they will devastate infantry with collision damage. So we'll see which side comes out ahead in this battle, as we have the power of love on the SovietBear side with Meng Huo and Zhu Rong with that 25% damage resistance, but we also have Guo Jia on the left, which can shut down abilities. That's something that I believe SovietBear will struggle quite a bit with if he can't use any of the active abilities on his generals, as he himself does not have any strategists. So that might become a pretty skewed advantage here. So let's jump into the game and see how this match plays out. Alrighty, so as we load into game here and pause with the tactical view, there are no surprises here. No Vanguard deployment, because I think only 1 of the Nanman generals have it. And over here we have a very standard lineup. We don't even need to look at the elephants. They're just going to be stacked in a straight line. There's no formation here. We have a pretty cramped formation on this side. The Ye Vanguard Spearmen are in the front for their range damage and access to formations. The shield wall is going to be a very good one against elephants. but I still think the Qingzhou Halberds with the charge negation should be in the front, because they can be a brace spear that takes no charge damage. Having them on a vanguard general like Xu Huang is very key, but I don't think King of Yan realized that because they're in the back. The elephants are providing their boost. The song, I believe, are not changed yet. They're currently playing the same thing. This is the default one. It should be 2 different songs here eventually. And the cavalries are on the flank. They're hiding the Tyrant Slayer. This is going to be the trump card to kill generals. And that's really going to determine the outcome of this battle. Which group of generals can win in the fight and how the units can assist is pretty much going to determine who wins. Now, because there is not that much range, there's a little bit of crossbow damage in the front. I think if we just play it out patiently, perhaps the Nanman generals have a shot. I believe they're all rank 3. Yes. And the most powerful one would be Zhu Rong. Not only she and her husband Meng Huo have the power of love, which gives them immune to fatigue and damage resistance, her weapon is just amazing. The burn effect, the minus 50% melee evasion, really kills people rather quickly. With enough Nanman or Nanzhong elephants, Nanman elephants all around, they can have all 3 buffs active for the generals as well. And if we look at the abilities, it's pretty standard. She does have this dagger. It's not too much damage. Maybe if she can snipe Guojia just by charging out just to bait the situation. But given this army setup, I don't think there's going to be any baiting. I think the elephant's just going to charge right in. We can boost them. Swift steps. They can be really, really fast, right? Because there's 15% from the music plus the fatigue immunity. And then you have things with another 15% here. The rest of them doesn't really matter. Wutugu has a really good splash, also more speed. If he's below 50% health, he gets another damage boost. Duosi has some team bonus, but it's mainly defensive and range based. This is going to be key. But the problem with this is he needs to click activate, I believe. I know it says passive debuff, but I don't think that's how it works. I think you have to click this, right? It's 1 second duration, really quick. And there's a 121 second cooldown and within 50 meters. The problem with this type of ability, it's active ability for sure, I'm pretty sure. He can't use it. Guojia gets close to him, that gets knocked out. So you can't actually increase the cooldown of enemy abilities. And it's not like Stifling Deluge where it's constant. This is only good for 30 seconds. Afterward, they can still use their abilities. So that's a pretty big disadvantage. So all the ability needs to be used before they get into range of Guojia, or they need to target Guojia first to kill him, because there's not anything else that can even the odds here. And that's going to be key here. And you know, for these Nanman generals, their ability have really, really long cooldowns, except for Wutugu Smash. Most of the other ones have like 120 seconds. They're all on the horseback, no one's on elephants, so it's going to be a pretty fair general fight. We'll see how that goes. If we swap over to look at the generals for King of Yan, they're all together, which is a good sign. We want Guojia to debuff the enemy as much as possible. Zhao Liang we've seen, he's mainly here for his units. He's not particularly strong. These bonuses are really hard to trigger because you have to stay in battle. If he does drop the low health, he could potentially provide a boost to his nearby allies. If they're fighting together with a general, they can obviously use 10% armor and a bit more morale. I don't think most of them are unbreakable. Xu Huang definitely is unbreakable because he's on his armor, and no one else is unbreakable. So that's going to be pretty interesting. Now, Guojia has a Wisdom River. Pei Yuanshao also has a Wisdom River and has a pretty nice melee evasion boosting ability here. Speeds up cooldown for all allied generals. Attack speed quite low, but a very powerful weapon. He does have very high armor. He's a very expensive general to recruit in multiplayer as well, surprisingly. Top 10 expensive in terms of general cost. Ventral has the Roar, which is going to be useful against the Nanman general as well. I think only, I can take a look again, but I think it's only Meng Huo and Zhu Rong who are unbreakable. Mulu. Mulu is also unbreakable. And Shamoke. Okay, so 4 of the 6, that's a big advantage as well. So the Roar is not going to be as effective, but elephants don't have that much morale, so this could be very helpful. Smash ability, Roar ability on Xu Huang. These 2 Roar does stack. They're different Roars, so they will actually stack. So we're good for 45 actually. And then Pei Yuanshao, we already mentioned the second Wisdom River. That's pretty much the key. And let's see how this battle plays out, because I think it's just going to be a very epic elephant charge, and we'll see if we can get a nice view of that. And we got the different songs going. Make sure all 3 bonuses are active. And time to march to war. And the bonus is being used, because you might as well use them. Once Guojia gets here, you cannot use them. Let's see which 2 songs they picked. Attack damage and defense. So no fatigue immunity, no speed. They're not going to move. They're just going to be very passive. We got 1 elephant shying away from battle. You coward. Go that way. I don't want to go first. There's a thing called Charge Reflect. I heard about it. It's not very good. Alright, the general's looking for a flank. The cavalry's also looking for a flank. And let's see the front line set up. I want to see if they change formations. We'll slow it down for once. No change to shield wall, actually. A little surprising here. The generals are flanking. It's surprising that these generals didn't follow the elephants, actually. And they're not giving any charge command. They're lagging behind quite a bit. I wonder if the cavalry is going to seize this opportunity with the Tyrant Slayers, because there's no one to body block for them. Oh, and this massive charge. We're just going to go slow-mo here for a little bit. Maybe right before the... Oh, a couple of them has already gone down. Who are they picking on, by the way? Wutugu is their target. Interesting choice. We got Suicidal Protector of Heaven. Why are you charging? Alright, just gonna see this get wrecked. Already taking that collision damage. Melting. The health is melting. Even the kill doesn't look that high. You see 1/4 of the health is gone. Just you have units that are injured. Now the elephants are killing themselves. You can see that right there. Not much damage taken. Even without formation, just being braced. But once you do break through, even if you lose some health, the collision damage is going to start kicking in. But against brace unit, this is really not the move. And the problem with this big charge is they're not staggered. So it's going to be a lot of traffic jam of your own units into each other. And unfortunately, they're already dying. But this is good. This deep charge is good. You want to charge pretty deep. Now back over here, we got some cavalry running into us. We got generals. Duosi is being targeted. Interesting. So we've got the 6-on-1 action. I know we're slowing it down. It looks a little weird, but this is the only way we can kind of figure out what's going on. Duosi is dead. Can't use any abilities. He's going to get knocked, body. He cannot charge out. Getting attacked. The elephant's too slow to cover the cavalry. These Tyrant Slayers, once they maneuver around, it's going to do a lot of damage. They're running, following the elephants to try to do damage to the front line, which they can. They can finally use their ability because Guojia isn't there. Although, abandoning one of your 6 generals is not a smart idea. You want to try to win that fight, but with these Tyrant Slayer around, I can understand why he doesn't want to fight there. Wolfpack, with the low morale, is taking a beating and thinking about leaving the battlefield. And this elephant has done his damage. You can see about 75% of this unit's gone. About half of this unit's gone. And we do have 1 routing elephant, but the rest are still fighting. It's going to be hard to micro this many elephant units in this big charge. As you can see, this traffic jam is what you don't want to see. Right? Basically, maybe 1/4 of your army is not doing anything. It just bumped into, your own units. You need to charge them clean through, which is very, very difficult to do. Alright, Duosi is going to die. We can go a little bit normal speed. These 5's going to have a field day. They can finally use their abilities, reduce enemy armor and evasion, the roar for the morale, the minus 50% for both armor and evasion. And the generals are coming as Duosi is going to die. He's activating a few boosts as well from maintaining the melee for Zhangliang. Alright, this is the weird part. Because elephants are so big, the generals are essentially hiding in this maze. And I wonder how these generals are actually going to get to touch them. Well, but Wisdom River kicks in, Ability Shutdown kicks in, and I'm sure we're going to see a couple really big Flame of the Phoenix right on top of these Nanzhuang elephants right here. Which is just really unfortunate. Because of the lack Yeah, that's a waste. You don't need to use both. He's just trying to hit all the ability buttons, I bet. He's just like flipping through the generals and just clicking all the buttons. But that's a waste of double melee evasion reduction on the Wisdom River. He could have extended the timing. So you can see Xu Huang's here dishing out damage. Wu Tugu is hitting back pretty hard. The mace has not hit him. He has the extra 100% boost right now, plus the 80 on him. Even the minus 50 is actually not going to hurt him. That's actually pretty insane. He's not getting hit by that. Oh, he is. He got hit. Oh yeah, dropped to 130. Big whoop, right? That, you know, boost from Pei Wen Shao paying off right here. I can't even select him. So many elephants. Let's see if I can... Yeah, that one right there. Unyielding Earth. Paying off big time. The Roar, which is going to hurt the elephants quite a bit. There are a lot of morale boosters on this side, including the song, so that's going to save them a little bit. He's clicking all the buttons. There's no range on this entire army. He's like, we need to hit all the buttons. This is crazy micro here. But it's really hard to kill Xu Huang. Not having an ability shut down, I think is going to make the difference. I don't think these Nanman generals can do much. Xu Huang does a splash. That's not going to do too much damage, but the elephants will take like that. All these two drummers getting thrown off. Look at that slow-mo death. Ragdoll. Alright, over here in the mess, is anyone trying to kill Guojia? That's going to be the key. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. I don't see anyone targeting Guojia. Guojia is actually trying to target people, which at this point, I think he's too precious to do this. But once again, micro gets very chaotic at this point. I'm curious to see if anyone's going to hit Guojia. Nope. Mulu is not targeting him. Mulu is going after someone else. Xu Huang's also here. Yeah, it's a maze. It's like impossible to find where the action is. But it's right here. It's a little pocket of action right here. They squeeze the ability usage in from here, I guess. Slightly out of range. Maybe it has a slightly farther range than what Guojia has. Xu Huang has taken some damage as it has worn off, but still, it's going to be hard to kill him. And these elephants are not getting microed at all. I think, like, you know, over half of them are not doing anything. They need to be, like, given the command to just walk out, right? Their body can do damage. Just walk out and then reset, charge again. But right now, I think the generals are just keeping the attention right here. And the generals can't do much with these elephants here either. Like, Meng Huo probably has attack command on someone, and he just can't get in there until these elephants die. So these elephants are getting in the way for both sides. And right now, because we have King of Yan actually inside, he's helping him. He's cutting off, you know, Meng Huo from being here. And I'm not sure if Power of Love... It's good. It's infinite distance. She's going after units, which I don't understand. She should be trying to kill these generals first. Guojia is taking a bit of damage. He's trying to get out, which I don't think he can. It's just like, how do you get out of this thing? Bump. They're actually trying to kill him. So there is a effort here. Shamoko is trying to do the damage, but the problem is he's getting attacked, and he's probably going to die here before he kills Guojia. Alright, let's speed this up a little. He's trying to get a whack. He just needs one more. There we go, he got him. Okay, so we have a chance, because Guojia is gone. The next crucial target's probably Pei Wen Shao with the, you know, Wisdom River on him. Or Xu Huang, because he's unbreakable. But because the army hasn't been wiped, you know, you're not going to get the army loss difference right now. I wonder if she's coming for Xu Huang, or is she still going for units? It's hard to tell. And it's also with the elephants. Oh no, she's just trying. She probably has all the generals selected. Oh, they're going for Pei Wen Shao, so the targeting is correct. Going for the buff/debuff general. If Shamoko can stay alive a little bit longer. And then we have another pocket of fighting here. Meng Huo against Zhang Liang and Wu Tugu. This is just outside. We got Protector Heavens charging at him. Yeah, the elephant's actually not doing anything. I don't think they've been microed at all. They're just acting as a meat shield, just slowly getting killed. Wu Tugu is slamming around over here. Although I really think the generals should kill the generals first. These can all wait. Elephant just select all of them, ask them to move here, and just the collision damage would kill most of these. But unfortunately, they're just standing still, and not much is happening. And then oh, there we go. Ventral finished off 沙漠可. We still have the husband and wife team here. Mulu is still on the outskirts, and Wutugu is still slapping around. Duosi is gone. I think Duosi is long dead. And the cavalry is actually charging. So, yeah, King of Yan's still microing his units from the outside. And these Tyrant Slayers has wiped out that clean charge on Mulu has killed them. Not even the extra damage, just the charge. Another roar. Elephants are starting to break. Yeah, these elephants are just not doing anything. Don't give them attack command. In this situation, just give them a walking command, and that's fine. Right now, they're just waiting to die in this circle. And I think he's targeting Wutugu right here. It's a mess. Oh. Did they purposely dismount, I think? Yeah, we have an active dismount, but he got killed right after. It's a good idea, but the problem is there's too many targets. Like, if all 6 generals were together, they all dismounted and tried to get a kill. You can see this problem right here. They're getting knocked around. That's the thing. Basically, 5 different generals try to get a clean charge on you. One of them is going to get the charge on you, and then you get knocked back, and you got to stand back up. Someone might knock you down again. Like right there. See that knockdown? She doesn't get a chance to attack. Yeah, see, the second charge comes through. She gets knocked back again. The third charge comes through. So she's not actually getting to attack. The dismount is a great idea, but at this point with so many enemies and there's only one of you, you can see that knockback again, right? There's no time for her to do anything. She stands back up and the charge continues. Charge continues. Knockdown, knockdown, knockdown. And that might be it. And then if she dies, Menghua is pretty much doomed. And she died. Menghua loses 25% melee evasion, and they're just charging him now. And he's down. Is Wutugu still alive? Nope, he's gone. He probably got killed by units then. There's still a bunch of elephant left, and you can see elephants are pretty amazing units, right? Those infantry, there's a couple of them left over there, and they're the ones who routed early and bounced back, right? The early wolf packs. Everyone else just died with almost no micro. If they were microed, I think it would have had a much cleaner effect, but now it's just elephant versus generals, and without any of their generals alive, it's kind of hopeless. It is kind of hopeless. He's keeping the generals away. I don't know why. He's probably using a charge target to give some speed. There's no point to kill those elephants. Well, as long as Xu Huang's alive, there's unbreakable. This team won't break even if you kill off all the units. There's no army loss situation. There's a fair bit of elephants. I don't know if you can turn this around. I mean, there's still definitely at least a roar on him. Wutugu has a smash. These two should be invested to try to kill these. He should activate the unbreakable. Wait for cooldowns. Get the unbreakable on all 5. Fear is kicking in. Yeah. I think Xu Huang should stay off the field here. There's a risk that if he died, it's a small risk because he does have quite a bit of health. Right, but the army loss has kicked in. That one charge did it. The roar, he did have a roar. Yeah, now it's just cleanup time. Wolfpack's still around. Throw a couple javelins. Get this killed. The last elephant. Pure victory. That was pretty interesting. I think there was a lot of micro mistake from SovietBear. Using the elephant and not getting a clean charge. It's not the right move. I mean, certainly the attack damage itself and the tankiness of the health of the elephants, you know, won out in the end. Got all those units killed, basically. And those were some very good polearm units. You have those Qingzhou units who has the Misplaced Devotion, you have the Protector of Heaven. Those all got wiped. The only infantry that survived were infantry that got out of there early because of the first wave of morale shock, those wolf packs, and they were able to come back. Everyone else died in this fight. Even those cavalry that came in, they also died. I mean, a lot of that was also Utugu on the side smashing those units, which eventually got him killed, which I don't agree with. I think the elephant could have killed the infantry much better. Just send an easy command, have them collision through the enemy, and then just rinse and repeat that. The generals should be fighting each other. He did kill Guojia early enough, I think, that there was a chance to flip it around. But unfortunately, the generals were not fighting well. They're all stuck in this elephant, different pocket of actions, hard to control who has the opening to attack who. And it just turned out that King of Yan had more openings, and the dismount happened too late. If you were going to stand here and fight, dismount earlier. Like that single dismount against 5 guys on horseback, they're just going to cycle charge you through and through. You never stand up, and you end up getting killed without doing anything. So that was a bit late for that idea. I think when those 6 generals were charging out at you, and the elephants were charging as well, maybe pull back half the elephants. There's no reason why all those elephants just station here. Body block the cavalry. That's kind of what the elephant needed to do, especially since they're tyrant slavers. And then just have 6 on 6. I believe the Nanman general have a pretty good chance. All of them have great weapons. All of them have very armor-piercing heavy weapons, so I think they could do damage. If they could just kill Guojia early enough and bypass the first wave of high melee evasion that Pei Yuanshao is going to provide, the rest of the fight should be manageable. And once the generals are dead, the infantry is nothing. As kind of proven here just with the elephants, even despite the general ability, disadvantage that they had. So interesting fight here. Very thematic army, very fun. All elephants. Let's see the numbers here. And as you can see, Utugu got a few smash-ins. It's not even that crazy. The elephants did so much without actually doing much. Like most of the time, those elephants were pretty stationary, just the accidental bumps here and there, and hundreds of kills. Yeah, it's actually pretty amazing what the elephant can do. And all these elite infantry, absolutely wiped. These 2 got lucky because they got routed early and they came back in. And the general versus the general was kind of the story here. A few different plays. Not having Stifling Deluge early, definitely a huge disadvantage. Not having ability that can boost melee evasion by 100%, big disadvantage. And dealing with these Tyrant Slayers was a little scary. They got a clean kill on Mulu, I believe, when he was kind of off to the side. They charged in and got rid of him. But even then, it was a close call. I think a few kills going the other way, a few charges going the other way, especially in the midst of all those elephants, we could have had a very different outcome where the generals could have gotten pretty clean kill with 4 unbreakable generals on this side versus the only 1. And then the army gets routed, army loss kicks in, these generals rout, and it's a different story. But right now, congratulations to King of Yan making it to the final, and thank you SovietBear for such a nice army to look at, and for all this game in the tournament so far lasting till the semifinals. We'll miss you, and we'll see you in the next tournament. But that's also going to set the stage for our best of 3 finals between Zero and King of Yan, which I believe is what most people voted for in the community poll as well. So everyone had it right, or most of you had it right, and we'll be coming back with the rules and schedule for the next round tomorrow, and I'll see you guys in the finals. Until then, bye!